Hi, it's Rich Tehrani coming to you from SuperCom 2009 in Chicago, Illinois. And today we've got Steve Klinger, who is with Cavium Networks, on our program. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing exceptionally well. Thanks for being on the program today.
My pleasure.
Our viewers, I'm sure, would love to learn more about your company. Can you share with us, please?
Sure. Cavium Networks is a processor company. We're headquartered in Mountain View, California. And we build multi-core processors for a variety of end applications, including networking, security, wireless, storage, and video. So we have essentially 4 different product lines today that span a range of price and performance points that hit everything from consumer, broadband CPE type of applications, all the way to core networking infrastructure. And we supply not only the processors, but also software and board-level products that our customers can use to get to basically help us at time to market advantage in building products based on our processors.
So from chips to integrated solutions that allow them to just take it, maybe put a box and a power supply on it, and then their logo, and then they're good to go?
Exactly, and we partner with ODM type of suppliers as well, who design systems around our products. We also sell our processors directly to OEMs, like the large networking infrastructure companies. And today, our processors are used in really 10 out of 10 of the top networking infrastructure companies today, and in a wide range of applications, from switches and routers to broadband aggregation to base stations, things of that nature.
So your company is really in a good position to see what's happening in the market in terms of growth and different segments, right?
We really are. It's a very broadly adopted set of products. So we're not in a particular niche technology. We've built kind of a general purpose platform in many cases, but then we add application specific hardware and software to provide a more vertically integrated solution depending on the specific end market we're in. But yeah, we're selling globally today and have, I believe, over about 150 different customers today.
Wow, it's quite impressive. Is there any particular segment of the market that you're seeing a rosy picture for 2010?
I think we've seen broad adoption of fiber to the home service in a number of different markets in the U.S., in Europe, also in Japan. That's an area where our Octeon MIPS-based processors are being used in the gateway type of product. So we've seen a lot of growth there. We also see a lot of growth coming in some newer application areas for us, including storage infrastructure. So for Cavium, that's a newer market. But from a design win and revenue ramp perspective, we expect storage also to become a much larger market for us this year.
Interestingly, SanDisk had blowout earnings today, and they actually caused the entire semiconductor index to go up in value. So it's a good day for at least memory chips. I know they had some blowout sales there. So I guess that would be more. That's probably not the memory you're talking about, or is it the storage you're talking about?
Well, so we work in those systems as the intelligent processor. It's actually processing the data. So we're not storing the data per se. It's more flowing through our devices.
Sure.
Into a hard disk or other memory, or flowing across a network.
So competitively, do you look at companies like TI and Intel as primary competitors, or are there other ones?
Depending on the specific market that we're talking about, again, because we have a very broad product line, we have different competitors at various price points. I think closer companies are companies like Freescale that build embedded processors for a variety of applications. But what Cavium's done really to differentiate ourselves is the scalability of our product line allows us to hit not only the low cost, optimal performance points, but also scale the same software and architecture up to very high-end performance.
So that gives a cost advantage to your customers who
Exactly.
are able to pass that along or not, or just keep it as profit, I guess.
Exactly.
When they go to market.
It also allows them to develop a single set of software and hardware, and they can deploy that from low end to high end. With a lot of competing solutions, you tend to have to develop a different architecture and software at the different performance points that you're trying to hit.
So my guess would be that Asia and the Middle East are areas that are growing rapidly for your
certainly,
products?
Yes, Asia is a major growth area from a revenue as well as from a design win perspective, as well as India.
Okay, so Middle East it's not resonating yet, or it will?
Not to the same extent as those other geographies. But we have a global sales force, so I'd say we're really engaged globally, but where I see the most growth coming would be from those other markets.
So what's next for the company?
Well, we're introducing additional product lines addressing video. So we acquired a company that builds a very low latency H.264 video encoder decoder. And there's some very exciting new products that we'll be introducing there that will allow applications like wireless HDMI. For example, having multiple displays throughout a home, transmitting the video over 802.11. And only having to have a single set of entertainment components that you can wirelessly switch to any display. So our processors will be finding their way into very high volume applications there.
That's great. I'm smiling because, yeah, I either meant to write about that or I did write about it recently, a few months ago. So I'm familiar with that product line. And that's going to be a booming market as well, right? That 3D TV, I mean, just consumer electronics and the crossover between broadband and consumer electronics to me is fascinating market.
And as you look at the cost of the displays getting cheaper and cheaper, I don't know about you, but I've got 2 HD displays in my home. I could see that number growing, but I've got an issue. I've got all my components in one place, and I can't snake HDMI cables through all the walls of my house. So I think this wireless technology is going to be with the very high quality video and compression, decompression, will be pretty cool stuff. I'm looking forward to getting it in my home myself.
Well, I was in a Best Buy just recently, and they had one of those demos of 120 hertz screen next to I think it was a 60 hertz screen, and I told the salesperson I can't see the difference, and he says, well, you need HDMI, we don't have HDMI connected. And so I mean, it's just interesting to me that the TVs are now being sold where in order to get those benefits, you have to have an HDMI cable, yet it's, I guess, not easy to do that. So if a wireless technology would obviously bridge that problem.
That's right.
Now, I assume there's a little bit of a latency challenge there, but
well, that's really where we excel. So for H.264, we have sub-frame latency. So not only for these applications, but things like gaming, things like telepresence, they require the very low latency. Otherwise, the audio and the video get out of sync. So that's, I would say, one of the key things that we bring to the party there.
It's very exciting. Thank you so much for being on the program today.
Thank you so much, Rich.
Pleasure. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Thank you.